Yo, what's happening? I'm Jordan Arvanitis. I am your data-driven real estate sales professional here in Wake Forest, North Carolina. If you have any interest in the real estate market, how it's performing here, whether you're a buyer, seller, investor, or just someone who likes the Zillow shop, I've got some great data here. We're going to go over the numbers for April of 25. We're going to compare that to the previous year, April of 24. We're going to look at the numbers. And if you are a buyer and you have been sitting on the sidelines, but you've been thinking about a home in Wake Forest, now is your time. Let's have a conversation. The numbers are suggesting that buyers are going to hold some additional leverage at the negotiating table to get a deal done. Okay, April 2025 Wake Forest real estate market. If you have been considering purchasing a home in Wake Forest and you've been sitting on the sidelines because the last couple of years have been a little crazy, now is probably your time to jump back into the market. We're going to go over some data here that suggests buyers might be in a pretty good position to hold a little bit of leverage in the negotiations, unlike they have in recent years. So let's jump right into it. The first thing we're going to look at is the average home sales price. So we are looking at an average home sales price of $492,450. Now compare that to April of last year, which was $506,000. So we are now seeing a 2.7% decrease. This is the first decrease we've seen in years. And even if we just compare that to last month, we are looking at of March of 25 was $450,000. So we did see a spike in the average sales price since last month, a little bit deeper into the spring market, driving a little bit of additional competition out there. But average home sales price for year over year, we saw a 2.7% decrease. Let's also look at home sales, okay? So we're looking at 140 closed deals. That's how many sales happened in Wake Forest. Compare that to April of 24, which was 179. So that's a 21.8% decrease. Even compare that now again, March of 25, so the month prior, which was 130, so a little bit of a jump up. Again, the spring market is in kind of full swing right now, so we are still seeing a healthy amount of transactions. But again, 21.8% decrease April of 25 from April of 24. Again, buyers, if you're on the sidelines, let's chat. New listings coming to market. Okay, so how many homes came to the market in April of 25? That number is 193, and that is exactly dead even, 193 from the April of 24. So new listings, still the same amount of people attempting to sell their home, which is great. March of 25, so the month prior, was 166. So again, pretty normal to see an uptick as we get into the spring months. But dead even there, 193 new listings to the market. Inventory. Let's talk inventory, which kind of has a couple different data points that we really need to consider to get a full understanding of, that hot trigger word, inventory, right? We've had the inventory crisis for years. That seems to be over, potentially. We'll see. So homes for sale in Wake Forest right now, for April of 25 is 379 homes were active on the market in April of 25. Compare that to the year prior, which was 295. So that's a 28.5% increase of available homes. Now, not a bad thing for sellers, okay? It's not like this crazy market that we'd seen over the past couple of years is really a healthy thing, I think, all around, even though, some sellers are making some additional dollars. But I don't know that anybody would consider that to be a healthy, sustainable market. So, 28.5% increase of available homes. That tells all of you buyers out there that you've got options, right? There's a lot of new construction available. There's a lot of townhomes, condos, single-family homes, new, old, etc. Right? The options are definitely out there. I'm talking to folks every day, every week about kind of what they're looking for in a home. If they did sell, where would they go? All these sorts of questions. And I can tell you with certainty that your options, whether you're looking for a ranch, whether you're looking for a new construction condo, or you're looking for a multi-million-dollar property, all of these homes are available out there on the market right now. So let's have a conversation, and I'm confident we can find you something that'll fit your needs. Months supply. So another hugely important data point to consider when we're talking about inventory is the absorption rate, or how many months worth of homes at a given sales rate do we have on the market, right? So we're looking April of 25, that number was 2.8. So 2.8 months worth of inventory if no new homes came to the market. Now compare that to April of 24, 2.1. Okay, so it's a 33% increase. And even if we look at March of 25, so just 1 month prior, we were at 2.6. So we're still trending upwards. The available homes, there's a inventory level increasing faster than the rate that they are being sold at, right? So again, buyers, you have options. You have a little bit of additional leverage at the negotiating table. And sellers, I'm talking to you guys every single day too, and we have to be realistic with the data. If you need to sell your home, you need to have a strategy. You need to look at the data. You need to understand the market, where it's at, and you need to understand the competition around you. Buyers are not just going to look at your home. Now let's also look at the average days on market. As a seller, this is your true competition. You need to really pay attention to how long you're sitting on the market. Average days on market is 10 days. Still very low, right? Homes are still selling. They're not sitting on the market for extended periods of time. Wake Forest is highly desirable still for many, many reasons. So buyers are definitely looking here. The area is expanding, right? So 10 days on market as an average is still a very, very strong number for sellers, which means buyers, you need to be conscious of that. If you find a home that you love, don't sit on it for 2 weeks because it'll be gone. That number is still dead even with the year prior. So April of 24, that number was 10 days as well. And if we look at March of 25, so just 1 month prior, that number was 18. All right, so again, spring market in effect. It makes sense. You got a lot of buyers entering the market during these months. A lot of people make their moves, and we're going to be approaching graduation season here soon, which usually also brings in another strong buyer pool and sellers. Also, we might see that inventory even go up because a lot of people make their moves after their kids graduate, or they no longer need to be in a certain school district or whatever. So we'll see what these numbers do in the coming months. The list to sold price ratio, another very important data point that we want to look at to see kind of, is this a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? You can still expect 100%. So that number for April of 25 was actually 100%. So on average, sellers were getting their full asking price when they made it to the closing table. So compare that to April of 24, that was also 100%. So no real change there. Buyers are expecting to have to pay close to, if not all of asking price in order to secure a purchase. A very critical behind the scenes number to that data point is price reductions. If a home came to market at $400,000 and it sat there for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then a price reduction happened and it brought it down to say $385, and a buyer came in at $385, that list to sold price ratio is still going to reflect 100% because the listing price was $385 when the offer came in. So that was technically 100%. buyers aren't expecting to come in and have low balls accepted. But again, you do have some negotiating power right now. There's a lot of price reductions happening every single day. Again, we saw the first decrease. The average sales price, right, came down 2.7%. So we haven't seen that in a long time. The market is adjusting a little bit, right? We're not sitting here where sellers are getting 102, 103, 104% of their asking price after being on the market for 15 minutes. Sellers, you need to have a strategy when you're coming to the market. You need to work with somebody who will position your home appropriately. And buyers, if you're sitting on the sidelines and you want to get a home in Wake Forest, if you've been looking, if you've been considering that as an option, let's have a conversation. Your options are out there, right? Whatever type of home you want, Wake Forest has it. It's a great area, and it's a growing area. And this is a great opportunity for you to take advantage of these inventory levels, right? Doesn't mean you're going to get a home for dirt cheap, but it does mean that you don't have to go insane with your offer anymore. You can have a conversation about a reasonable market value and secure a home without having to give up, your left arm and everything you've earned your entire life. So we can make this happen. I am still talking to folks every day that are having a little bit of trouble with the, let's just say, market competence, right? Some things going on at a national level that has people suspect on how things are going to look in a few months or in a year. So a lot of people are kind of just, hey, I'm going to still sit this out. The time to buy is when it makes sense for you, right? Is when you can afford it, right? If the finances work out for you, that's the time, right? You marry the home and you date the rate, right? Interest rates, another thing people talk about all the time. It's very valid. It makes a significant impact on your monthly payment. So certainly make sure you're within a budget that works for you. But if rates come down if you find a home that you love and if it's at a price that you can afford, you don't have to miss out on it. If rates come way down in a year or two, refinancing, yes, has some upfront costs, but you're certainly over the length of your loan going to recoup that money. So you don't have to be stuck in a what you would consider a bad interest rate long term. So if you're considering purchasing a home in Wake Forest, this spring market, a lot of sellers bringing their property to market. You have a lot of additional inventory to choose from. This could be the time. This could be the time to get a great home and not have to be competing with 19 other offers to get it done. So let's have a conversation. I'd be happy to kind of scout the area, show you what's available. We can go look at some homes. If you're a seller, I'd be happy to run these numbers for you on your neighborhood, give you a strong strategy to get your home actually sold in the current market. There's a lot of people coming off the market and just kind of waiting. But if you're not in a position to wait and you need to get your home sold, let's talk. I'll put a strategy in front of you that will show you how to get your home sold in this market. Yeah, reach out to me. I'll have my contact information on the screen, any of the links down below in the description. And let's get a deal done.